Hi, I'm Adam Drake, and today I'm going to talk about a new video series that I've been thinking about doing for a long time. And with everything going on and being quarantined, I think now is the time to kind of get going with this. So, we all know about the Flashback Friday, Throwback Thursday post. People put up a picture. Well, I thought it would be cool to do more of a Throwback Thursday or Flashback Friday or even Way Back Wednesday kind of video series. A little bit to talk about how I got into racing, maybe even some time before racing, and to give a little bit more of a personal approach to my videos. So we'll continue to do every Tuesday the normal kind of tech videos or product videos showcasing some of the products that I use and also giving some feedback and trying to give some knowledge to share with fellow racers. But with this series, my goal is to try to do kind of the same thing where I have a video a week and I'll probably jump around throughout this kind of video series, but I thought it would be cool, again, to just talk a little bit more about what goes on at the races, or maybe tell a story about a specific race or a trophy or a vehicle, and just kind of let the viewers in a little bit more, again, to a bit of a personal side of Adam Drake. Hopefully I'm able to also get Rhonda involved in this and maybe even some special guests in the future to where I want to be able to, like when I first started racing, all you had was the magazines. You didn't have social media. So when things happened at an event, you would have to wait 2 or 3 months, get your Radio Control Car Action magazine or Extreme RC Car or RC Car magazine and read and see what happened. And with that, it was pretty limited though. You know, there may be 3 to 6 pages depending on the size of the event, but that's pretty much all the insight racers were able to get. You would study the photos, you would try to look in as close as you could to see what team drivers were doing to their vehicles, and you would get some insight on the event itself. But I want to share a bit more than that. Like, I've been racing a long time, and at a lot of those events, there was a lot of things that happened behind the scenes that, you wouldn't have read about in the magazines. And I think it'll be cool to kind of take a little bit of a step down memory lane and talk about some of the things that happened, even if it's not related to RC, some of the fun things we did, things with rental cars that we shouldn't have done. And some of these stories maybe you've heard when I've been on the Tone or on some different podcasts, but I just thought it'd be cool, something I want to share with everyone that follows me on my YouTube channel. And if there's any videos you would like to see, any events that you were at where maybe you were a part of some of these stories that I could tell, please make it a point to comment, email me, and we'll get this series started and talk a little bit. Initially, I'm going to go ahead and just talk about how I got started in RC before I even started racing, and we'll get right into that. So as a young kid, my family was really into motocross. That's what my dad did when he was younger, and it's what my brother and I also did. So we would travel all over the country racing motocross, and when we would go to these events, you would camp out. It would be, tons of families, motorhomes, trailers, vans, tents, you name it. And when the sun would go down, there wasn't a whole lot to do. So, you'd hang out around the campfire. Our dads would be wrenching on the bikes. Moms, would maybe be cooking. But for us kids, there was a few of us, we had RC cars. We would build little jumps out of, dirt and, find a shovel and try to make a jump. Sometimes we would lay down in between the jumps and try to jump over people. Sometimes if the RC car broke, we would grab our bicycles and we would hit those same jumps with our bicycles. But that's how RC started for me. It started purely as a hobby. It was something to do kind of in our downtime while we were at the motocross races. And initially I started with just basically toy RC cars, RC cars with cords connected to the radio, little three-wheelers where it only had like a couple functions. It would go straight, it would go backwards, it would wheelie. My first introduction to like a real RC car kit would have been, I believe, for like my 7th or 8th birthday. I got the Hot Shot 2, and I remember like getting the car and I'm all excited, and then we open the box and it's like tons of pieces. And I'm like, holy cow, like, you know, like I was hoping to play with this thing today. But it was an awesome project, you know. It was something that my dad and I were able to kind of sit down together and build and be frustrated and then be super excited as we would figure things out, and just a really, really cool experience. From there, though, I didn't think or know anything about racing as far as with RC cars. So being that I was from Michigan, the winters are super cold. We would kind of make like a little makeshift track in the basement, played with it some in the snow, and then in the summers we would take it outside and play with it in the dirt, kind of make little mini motocross tracks and things like that. But that's where it all started for me, was just, you know, something that I did for fun on the side from racing motocross. And it was a few years later before I was actually introduced to racing, and that's where it really took off for me. That's where my passion for RC kind of really took off, and the rest is kind of history. But we will talk about that history in future videos, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm really enjoying the downtime and kind of being able to spend a little more time, I guess, giving back and sharing a little bit of myself and my history of RC. So hopefully you enjoyed this. I'd appreciate it if you could like, subscribe, share this video, and again, make comments if there's any video ideas that you would like to see in the future.